Moto Guzzi. If you live in the United States or in Canada, lucky you! Apart from a lot of other advantages, now you get to pre-order the Moto Guzzi V85 TT before the rest of us peasants. Get your motorbike news in a pleasant way. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next episode. First put on display at last year's EICMA show, the Moto Guzzi V85 TT, or Tutto Terreno, all-terrain, has drawn a lot of attention. Available in two versions, the V85 TT and the V85 TT Adventure, they both come with a slew of colors and accessories. Competing in one of the hottest segments where BMW, KTM, Triumph and a lot of other bigger players definitely have an advantage, has some large shoes to fill. To help it fill those shoes is Moto Guzzi's new 853cc engine. This is an air-cooled V-twin engine which produces 80 horsepower and almost 60 foot-pounds of torque, 90% of which Moto Guzzi claims is available at around 3,800 RPM. That is very good news for off-road riding, where torque is king. The engine apparently can also reach 8,000 RPM quite easily, although I'm not sure what advantage this brings to an adventure bike. Suspension is also on track with 170mm of travel suspension both at the front and the back, with an inverted fork at the front and an adjustable shock preload. This provides the rider with up to 210mm of ground clearance, which is not a lot if you consider the 250mm of BMW's F850 GS. The suspension is connected to the road by the 17-inch wheel on the back and the 19-inch wheel on the front. The looks of this bike, in my opinion, are stellar. The two round headlights in the front with the LED running light in between them makes it look so retro and so new at the same time, while the round tail lights make it look like the afterburner on a jet. It also has those huge exhaust pipes that come out of the engine. They just shout out power! You can definitely see this was designed by Italians. The Italians pride themselves with an array of technological toys they were able to cram into the V85. In no particular order, 3 different riding modes for your riding pleasure. Ride-by-wire accelerator, cruise control, digital instrument cluster, TFT display with light sensor, Moto Guzzi multimedia platform which allows your phone to be connected to the bike, enabling you to make calls, pair it with your intercom, listen to music, all that good stuff, basic navigation and LED daylight running light. And the absolute best one that not even BMW has managed to install, even on their new 1250 GS, is the coveted USB port. That's right, 23 years after its inception, the USB port is finally clawing its way into motorcycles. One thing we can be sure of is that being designed by Italians, all this technology bolted on the bike is definitely sure to be reliable and definitely will not let you down when you ride this adventure bike in adventure-ish conditions that have a lot of dust and water. Alfa Romeo. Stopping power comes from dual disc brakes on the front with 4-piston Brembo calipers and a single disc 2-piston no-name caliper on the back. To make up for this clear oversight, the Italians decided to include something that is loved by all adventure riders: a shaft drive. No longer do you need to clean and lubricate your chain after every ride. Now your good old friend the shaft drive will take care of you. On a serious note here, I wish a lot more manufacturers would include shaft drives on their bikes. Another oversight by the Italians is installing a clutch which is meant for cars on an adventure bike. The V85 sports a dry clutch, and as somebody that has managed to burn even a wet clutch off-road, a dry clutch was definitely the wrong direction for a motorbike that is meant to take you off the beaten path. At least they added spoked wheels. And for the last of the Italians' oversights, true nirvana has not been reached. The holy grail has not been attained with the V85. The tires are not tubeless. Let me know in the comments below if this is a major issue on a bike for you or a minor inconvenience. If I was riding in the middle of nowhere on an adventure ride and got a flat without a tubeless tire, I would just call it a day. Call a friend to come pick me up and just go home, because I'm not wasting 2 hours taking the wheel off the bike, breaking my fingers trying to get the tire off the rim, change the tube, and then put it all back together. Shame on you, Italians, shame on you. Seat height is at 830 millimeters off the ground, so the bike should be comfortable for short or tall riders. The weight of the V85 is a manageable 229 kilograms, which is similar to other bikes in this category, and the fuel tank can fit a respectable 21 liters of fuel. Pre-booking is now open for North America if you follow the link in the description below. Lastly, let's take a look at the price. BMW's F850 GS starts at around $13,000 and is similar in spec to the V85. Honda's Africa Twin rolls into your garage for a measly $13,500, and Triumph's Tiger 800 has a recommended retail price of $14,600. The Moto Guzzi V85 wins the price battle with $12,000 asked for the standard version and $13,000 for the adventure variant. In conclusion, well done to Moto Guzzi for being able to design and produce a motorbike that, at least on paper, ticks all the right boxes. Apart from the tubeless tires, I'm not forgiving them for that. With KTM on the way to reinventing their mid-adventure lineup, this market segment surely has some great competition. And for us, the riders, this is all great news. Well, that's the show, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you learned something new, consider subscribing so you don't miss our next videos. Cheers and see you next time.